I remember as a senior, we had senior boards. And that was one of the most nerve-wracking things I ever went through, was my senior boards as a biology major. And so what I had done is on one of those big whiteboards, we actually had whiteboards back then. They were fairly new, but we had them. I had drawn out what's called the Krebs cycle. Krebs cycle, glycolysis, electron chain transport, the entire thing. It's how we get our energy from our body. So we break food down, and that's how we get ATP, adenosine triphosphate. And it's breaking down the ATP that gives us all the energy that our muscles use and the heart uses and so on and so forth. I had drawn all that up on the board, and then I didn't erase it before I went in to talk to the professors. That was stupid, because what they did was, instead of asking me general questions, since it was still on the board, maybe they thought I would think they wouldn't realize it was on the board because it was behind them. They asked me very specific questions about it because I could look on the board and answer that, and it made it a whole lot harder. The point is the complexity of that. If you've ever looked at it, it's absolutely mind-boggling. Well, I look at that, I understand that, and then I think about the complexity of God's decree that would allow the biblical presentation of the compatibilism that exists, the compatibility that exists between his sovereign decree and his creature doing what that creature desires. And I see it being certainly no more complex than the beauty and the order he's built into the physical creation itself. And those are illustrations that were not available to preceding generations of Christians because we just didn't realize. In the days of Darwin, we had no idea the biochemical complexity of life. Now we know. If God can make things that complex and order on that level, then I see no problem in believing in a God who is so big that he can order this universe in such a way that Romans chapter 9 makes perfect sense.